Well, good morning again. How are you all? I didn't know I was going to be back and talking to you so soon again this morning. Welcome to Integrative Preparedness. I just talked on the previous one about information that had come out about possible, they demonetized that one because I said a certain word. Not that I really care about that, but I don't know. It's because I said a certain word about who might be planning attacks on U.S. hospitals. And then I saw this on Breitbart. It says catastrophic transformer fire closes Heathrow Airport. Global travel disrupted. Sabotage question immediately raised. Do you think Heathrow, one of the busiest airports in the world, maybe is it the most busy? I don't know if it is or not. You ever flown through Heathrow? I have. It's a mess on a good day. But let me read a little bit of this here, and I think it's something that we all need to be aware of because this could be tidings of things to come. Says and this is a Breitbart article by Oliver J.J. Lane. One of the world's busiest airports is shut for an unprecedented full working day. That is unbelievable. Heathrow to be shut down for a whole day, disrupting air travel worldwide after a major fire took out not only, here's the thing to keep in mind, not only its power supply, but backup systems as well. Okay, now, I don't claim to be an expert on these kinds of facilities. I have friends who are, but I haven't called them. And but that is odd to me. That immediately raises some questions, because the primary power supply and backup systems should be constructed in such a way that an attack on one or a disruption of one does not affect the other. That's the whole purpose of backup systems, the whole purpose of redundancies, right? Okay, it goes on. Serious questions were immediately raised about the resilience of critical national infrastructure and the possibility of sabotage, you think, after London Heathrow was forced to close by a major power cut. Airport management, blah, blah, blah. One of the world's busiest airports. Tells you how many flights they handle a day. You don't care about that. I don't care about that. Disruption will inevitably go far further and impact thousands more flights, as Heathrow is a major hub, for refueling flights and crew changeovers. Those aircraft that would be on canceled flights will not now be positioned correctly for their subsequent planned journeys, meaning disruption could last for hours or days more. The UK's counter-terrorism police have gone from assisting inquiries to leading the investigation. Okay, well, that would be obvious, right? Let's see if there's anything more here that we need to say before we get to my thoughts on it. We now know that, as suspected, the transformer oil that both cools and insulates the high voltage equipment was contributing to the fire. The London Fire Brigade said there was 25,000 liters. Well, we in America figure gallons, so it tells us here it's 6,600 gallons of mineral oil fully alight. That's how the Brits say, fully ablaze. Okay, let's see. Right now, meanwhile, the International Air Travel Association, a trade body representing the interests of airlines worldwide, has some serious criticism for Heathrow Airport itself. Well, whatever. Okay, so that's the important thing is here that Heathrow Airport in London, and there are reasons that Heathrow, and I'm not going to go into this, there are reasons that Heathrow is a target for particular groups of people, right? Okay. How does this happen? There will be some who say, well, accidents can happen. And yes, accidents can happen. But we don't live in a world right now to where we are always aware of the potential for accidents. Oh, we should. As preparedness-minded people, we are prepared for accidents. But we also live in a world where we know that there are a large number of groups intent on bringing down the West and targeting economic targets as well as financial targets and military targets and things like that. And we don't know yet. It's too early to know. Will we ever know? That's always the question. Whether we will know depends entirely on whether they want us to know, right? But to shut down Heathrow, that is something. And the possibility that it is the result of an attack. I mean, a fire. Think about this. A fire takes out primary power for all of Heathrow and its emergency power source. I call that suspicious, don't you? So, are we going to see more of this? It wouldn't surprise me a bit, just like it wouldn't surprise me to see attacks on hospitals like I talked about in the previous one. What should you do? Same thing we should always do. Be prepared. Realize that these things can happen. They can happen anywhere, at any time, to anyone. And there are forces at work that we aren't aware of. And how do I say this? Sometimes the forces that we think are the ones supposedly protecting us are not. So that brings it down to the primary consideration and purpose of personal preparedness. Are you personally prepared for things to be shut down? If they can shut that down, if they can shut down Heathrow, they can shut down your town or your city. And if they haven't yet, I'm surprised. But they can, because the security around these places, I tell you, you can't get much tighter. Not that I'm an insider on Heathrow security, but I would bet, knowing what I know, and I know a little, that Heathrow security is probably close to top notch. Now, obviously, it's not enough, but it's close to top notch. So let this be a warning to us and a reminder that we all have to be constantly prepared for anything. We have to be constantly prepared for being on our own. Okay? For the power being shut down wherever. It'll be interesting to see what stories come out of Heathrow on this. The economic impact is going to be measurable. But your ability to get through things like this depends entirely on you and what you've done. We talk about the difference between preppers and PMPs, preparedness-minded people, those who have actually made it a way of life, instead of just people who kind of splash around on the surface, right? And yesterday when I made the one, and it didn't get a lot of views, and I didn't expect it to, about the fact that preparedness is a matter of personal responsibility, not communal responsibility. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't have your group, your circle of friends, other people. You should know a lot of other people who share this interest and this understanding with you. But when it comes right down to it, preparedness is an individual situation. It is a personal responsibility. And then when you bring people together who share that personal responsibility, they become a much stronger, tighter group and can help each other make it through whatever, okay? So keep that in mind. I'm going to remind you that if you want the best lesson on preparedness, survival, rebuilding, such as that, may I remind you of the Stonemont series, my books. Yes, they are. I wrote them. The Reversion, the Revival, the Renewal, and Appeal to Heaven, the Blessings of Freedom, Hostages to Fortune, what's the other? And the last one, the most recent one, On Wings Like Eagles. And if you haven't read them, I would suggest that you do. You will find more preparedness and survival lessons in here than you can imagine. Plus, it's a great story. It's a great story about a prepared family who, as a result of their preparedness, was able to not only continue living a high quality life after the collapse of everything, but were able to help other people and then rebuild community. But you'll love the story and you'll learn a lot. You will learn exactly how to prepare and position yourself so that you can do well if the whole world collapses, just like it says on the front of the very first book. When the world collapsed, some were ready to start over. That needs to be you. How do I get them, Steve? I'll tell you how to get them. You can get them either through Amazon, which is the link is down below, or you can get them the better way, directly through me, and that is through our website, stonemont.us. And when you do it that way, a couple of things. First off, I get to sign them for you and write a little note in each one of them for you. And then you also get a nice deal, because when we send them as a, you can't buy the set as a set through Amazon. You can, however, through Amazon, get them on Kindle or Audible, which you can't through me. But through me, and you can also get them paperback through Amazon. But when you get them through me and you get them as a set, you get a nice discount, because when we send them out like this, we save money on packaging and handling and postage and everything like that. We pass that savings on to you, and then also we throw in the Stonemont notebook for you, and I use mine all the time, and I love it. It says on the back, "Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh but in vain." And that's Psalm 127:1, and that is so true. And on the front, which you all were looking at just a moment ago, it says, "Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established," meaning commit your work to the Lord, and your plans will succeed. And that's Proverbs 16:3. It's one of my favorites. So we'll throw that in for you free when you order directly from us as a set. So anyway, make sure you're prepared. Understand, always remember that preparedness is a personal thing. It's your personal responsibility, and you're responsible for those who depend on you as well. And it's not a we're all in this together kind of thing. It's you and those who depend on you, and then knowing other people who also have accepted that primary responsibility for their own welfare. And then we become bigger. We don't know what's coming. We don't know what threats might be down the road, but we do know that the more prepared we are, the better we're going to be able to handle them, right? Okay, so I hope you're prepared. If you're not as prepared as you'd like to be, those books will help you, but I hope you will continue in your preparedness journey and get to the point where you need to be, because we never know when it could all come crashing down. Okay? All right. You all have a good day. Remember that we prepare well today in order to live well tomorrow, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.